Finally, I am once again able to go to another event type thing. Thanks, vaccinations. That's it. That's my intro. Hi, I'm Amanda, you're watching Swell Entertainment, and I had no other ideas for an intro, so I might as well encourage you all to get vaccinated so that we can continue to go outside again. Because, oh my God, I want to do stuff that I can't do if we're all at risk of getting sick. Please get vaccinated. Thank you. So today we are talking about my experience going to Area 15, but specifically Omega Mart within Area 15, located in Las Vegas, Nevada. I went to Las Vegas on kind of a solo trip at the end of June, and it was partially a work trip because it was partially inspired by TikTok, as most things on this channel are these days. I spent so much time on it. It makes sense that it would just influence my life at this point. But Omega Mart and Area 15 was something I had previously never heard about. And then TikTok started recommending me all these incredible looking food locations, these restaurants in Vegas. And I just knew, I was like, oh, I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Vegas. So I went to Vegas for like 4 days on a solo trip. Honestly, it was fun. I got really bad blisters. I went and saw a burlesque show. I got to see boobies. It was wonderful. I highly recommend it. But yes, I went to Area 15 and Omega Mart. Now, Area 15 itself is a free thing to go into, but Omega Mart is something that you do have to buy tickets for. So previously, before going out, I bought my ticket. I believe it was $45 for Omega Mart. And then I just had reserved a spot so that I could definitely make sure that I was getting into Area 15 before I got there. But when I got there, they told me, oh yeah, no, since they're like lifting COVID restrictions and stuff, we don't check those anymore. You can just come on in. So within about 5 seconds of me walking in, I just kind of decided I was going to spend the rest of my day here. I knew Omega Mart was going to take time, but I was like, oh, after this, I can go get dinner, or I can do this. I'm eating here. I'm not leaving. There's no goddamn way. I can throw axes. There's a virtual reality thing right now. I'm walking into Wild Muse to check that out. There's just so much to look at. This is so cool. So according to their website, Area 15 is described as a wondrous mashup of experiences. Area 15 is an immersive playground, all rolled into a vast and vibrant space. Throw an axe, wander through a bamboo volcano, race on a zip line, or explore other mesmerizing realms. From the throwback to the futuristic, the family-friendly to the thrill-seeking, there's an experience for everyone here. The thing about Area 15 is I think that there's a lot to do there, but you are either spending money or like you have to enjoy drinking. Like that's really it. And I don't like drinking, so I was like kind of trying to figure out of like, okay, what am I gonna end up spending my money on? And as much as I love experiences, sometimes when you're alone, experiences don't exactly like seem like worth it for cost. And a lot of the events that they had there, like there was a virtual reality thing that was kind of like an escape room type of thing that you had to have a group of. And I was like, I don't want to go and like try and find people because like I'm still not used to talking to people anymore. Then there was other stuff where it was like, okay, there's a wait for this, or you're spending money and then there's a wait. So for the most part, I just kind of walked around and looked at the little shops that they had. They had a couple of little ones. They had a toy shop that was like an older style toy shop. I did get something there. Oh, I got an archaeology thing where you could dig out like a glow-in-the-dark dinosaur. I got that. There was also a candy shop in there with a variety of candy shop and a variety of Japanese candies, which was cool. Oh, there was the Meow Wolf shop, but I'm going to talk about that at the end. Then there was events that you could do. Like there was a restaurant that had axe throwing. I didn't do that because again, money. There was a current show happening right now for Van Gogh, which is like an immersive Van Gogh experience. There's also a light thing where you can go through and it's an immersive experience. There was another thing where you could walk through and it's like a glow in the dark fun house type of thing, paying money for that as well. And I was like, you know what? I'm here to review Omega Mart, so I'm just gonna focus on that because I'd already paid for that previously, and I was just kind of walking around. I got a muffin. I got a banana nut muffin that was really good from a little bakery there. That was good. It's free entry, but you're gonna end up spending money regardless. It's one of those things in Vegas where you kind of get what you pay for, so it's like a little bit of a pay to play type of thing. But outside of Omega Mart, in the parking lot, they have a couple of different art installations that were really cool that I liked seeing a lot. Those were really beautiful. I thought these were lesbians, and now I'm disappointed. I like the dragon though. I'll Scorch Ya by Ivan McLean. There's also this giant like metal art piece that was like a reference to Transformers and the Iron Giant and like all that stuff. Cool, liked that, seemed fun. And also the thing about Area 15 is that after, I want to say 9 p.m., I think that's when it's 21 and up only. So keep that in mind. Personally, with Omega Mart, I wish I had found an earlier time. My time slot was at 1, and I could kind of stay in there like for as long as I really wanted to. I don't think there was any way they were really going to kick me out. I probably could have spent more time in there, but it started getting really crowded, and that's why I kind of wish I would have gotten an earlier time slot. Because even when I left Omega Mart, it was crowded inside Area 15 by that point anyway. So really wish I would have gotten an earlier time slot. Because then I think I could have experienced more of what Omega Mart's like whole point was, really, like why their whole deal was the way that it was. But let me tell you about Omega Mart. So Omega Mart is put on by Meow Wolf. Meow Wolf is an arts and entertainment company, and their first location was House of Eternal Return in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then in February of this year, they opened up Omega Mart in Area 15. I haven't been to House of Eternal Return, but like having been to Omega Mart, I really want to see. I may do a New Mexico trip just to go check it out. I kind of want to. They're also going to be opening up one in Denver, Colorado by the end of this year. I think fall of 2021 is their next startup point for that. Honestly, overall as the experience, even paying, I believe, $45 for entry, I think it was incredibly worth it, because even if you spend just an hour in there, you won't just spend an hour in there. There's so much to do inside these events. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me backtrack a little bit. Basically, you start with Omega Mart by getting an Omega Mart ID card. And this is your employee card because you are now an employee of Omega Mart. But basically, they tell you like, oh, anywhere you see this symbol inside the event, this spiral thing, tap your card there and you can like interact with it basically. So throughout the entirety of Omega Mart and throughout the entirety of the factory and the town and all this stuff, there are basically screens where you can check in and do little checkpoints. And you can basically collect all the checkpoints to become a full-fledged Omega Mart employee. 3 major portions of the Omega Mart inside Area 15. There is Omega Mart, the factory, and Dram Corp, which is like the parent company of Omega Mart. And basically, it's all about working conditions, capitalism, consumerism, which is kind of funny because I ended up spending money at this place anyway, because I am a no good consumer.
I think I can actually buy this stuff if I want to. I think I'll do that on the way out, maybe.
But basically, there is Omega Mart, and then connected to Omega Mart is the factory, and the factory is controlled by Dram Corp. And you kind of have to find throughout the entirety of Omega Mart, there's all these little spots where it's like, okay, this isn't like a regular grocery store. This is not copacetic. There's some weird stuff here. And throughout the backside of it, there are all these little entrances that lead you through different portions of the factory and the facility. So basically, there's one that leads you to like the break room. There's one that leads you directly into the factory. And there's all these different ways in and out. There's another one that leads you up into Dram Corp offices. That one was kind of cool. Most of them are back and forth, like you can enter and exit. Others are entry only, like so you can only go through, you can't like go backwards. The main thing I want to share about Omega Mart and just the whole experience with Meow Wolf is that I genuinely was so intrigued and impressed by the detail and the obvious care that went into this whole experience. There really wasn't one spot throughout the entire space that I saw, and I'm fairly certain I saw everything. I probably didn't. I spent a good 2-3 hours inside there and like trying to go through every single corridor I could. She told the girl who was too short for the ride that there was another secret passage in the fireplace of another room. So I'm gonna try and get to it. Also, I love exploring, so it was like really fun to go and like see what I could and couldn't do in all these facilities and like which doors open and which didn't, which hidey holes were like fake walls and which weren't. Very fun. Oh, also side note, some of these rooms, and they have warnings up, have flashing lights and stuff, so if you are prone to epilepsy, be warned that there are certain spaces where it was like genuinely jarring, and I'm not epileptic at all, but certain spots, like there was this one room where it was like, oh, it's a mirror and you can see like where people are watching, but like the whole thing was strobing. It was so disorienting. I was like, I'm gonna pass out. Holy shit, this is what this feels like. Fun. So didn't stay long in that room. There was just so much detail and so much care put into every aspect of it.
This place just keeps getting bigger every room I turn down. So that's a whole other corridor. but I haven't even figured out how to get to yet.
One thing that kept flooring me every time I saw it, like I kept thinking I was gonna get over it and it was gonna get old, but it really didn't, was that throughout the factory and throughout other portions of like the event itself, there were all these spots where it was like goo or like oil or something kind of like oozing out of pipes or oozing out of the walls. And in every single section of that, they had pressed individually like jewels into the goop, and it was like really well done. Like it wasn't like someone like threw sequins at it. Like they were clearly like individually pressed in, and the detail was just, it always floored me every time I saw it, because that's just something that I always love, is when you can tell that the care in something is put into an event like this. Because I grew up in Southern California. There are numerous times that my friends and I have driven to go to photo pop-ups or whatever, and I'm sure that this is kind of what this could have been. I personally did not take any selfies or really anything inside this event, mainly because I was by myself and I was filming the experience, and I was just like, I need to see everything, so I really wasn't taking time to like take photos of anything of myself, if that makes sense. I was taking photos of the event and taking videos and stuff, but I wasn't like taking selfies or anything. I always love when you can see the genuine care and things put into these events and these experiences.
Okay, so the fireplace zone is like a temporarily do not enter, but also just, God, I love the detail of this place. Look how pretty. God, this whole thing.
There was so much detail, not just in the environment itself, but also in the story. Like the whole facility for DramCorp, like there was a full-on like working office space essentially where people could go and like play around with stuff. There was like someone's daughter had been kidnapped, and like, oh, you were trying to figure out that. And then also there is someone who keeps coming on the screens to try and tell you that DramCorp is manipulating you and you need to stop eating everything and doing this. And they're working you till you die. Like it was so involved and so cool. And I really just like, every time oh God, I'm like, it was just really cool, and it really makes me want to go to the New Mexico location just to check it out, because this one, I really could have spent way more time in this place, because there was just so much. There was levels, and every time I thought like, okay, I must be done, there was a whole new section that was just like cavernous. Vegas is like the land of like Mary Poppins buildings, okay? Where like you walk inside and you're like, okay, this is it. I know how big this is. And then you walk inside and it seems bigger than it is. That happened with the hotels, that happened with Area 15 and Omega Mart, but like, God, okay, like confusing. I don't understand architecture whatsoever, but I thought I had a grasp on physics. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I think Vegas in itself defies the laws of physics. And yeah, so this whole thing, you can kind of like collect all the different facilities and things. I didn't end up doing that. Like I said, there were different things throughout the experience where you could like tap your card and then kind of like collect your employee of the month. Oh, I was the employee of the moment for a minute. I stopped kind of trying to like fool around with this, because I was just more excited to like go around and see what I could find and what I couldn't than like trying to collect them all. But I think I would have had a better time with this if I had gone to an earlier slot and there was less people in the facility, because all of the screens, like it was mostly a line waiting game, and I didn't really want to do that. There was too much for me to see. I think this type of thing, again, if you really want to do the whole collect them all type of thing, go in the morning. Do it as early as possible, or get it done as soon as possible, because the lines do build up over that whole thing. Eventually, I made it back towards Omega Mart, like after I had explored what I felt was like, for the most part, everything. And I was looking around the Omega Mart itself, and some people have been saying like, oh yeah, no, you can buy certain things, you can't. So I went up to one of the actual Omega Mart employees. I was like, okay, so what here is like actually buyable? And he was like, okay, so if you can lift it up, it's available for purchase. If it's bolted down, don't even try and lift it up. And that was arguably the most dangerous thing he could have said to me, because cue another hour of me going around every single spot in the Omega Mart store itself to see if I could lift anything up. Did I want the things I was lifting up? Not really. I just wanted to see if I could lift it up. So I spent a good hour in there just kind of wandering around, bumping into people, just being like... I did get a couple of things, but for the most part, a bunch of stuff is like bolted down. A bunch of stuff isn't. Some stuff was just empty boxes. Some stuff was like kind of just decorative. Certain things I got that I was like, do I need this? No, but I am a hoarder by nature and a maximalist. One of the things I got, home style supernova, directly from the heavens, add quantum relevance to your porch. Oh, by the way, Did I say that Omega Mart is like alien related? I don't think I did. Alien related, which is why I think I ended up back here. Area 15, obviously, Area 51. You understand that connection, I'm assuming. I hope I don't have to explain that to you. Omega Mart, though, it was like all kind of alien themed and like just out of this world type of thing. And like, is this a human? Is this not? What's the deal there? So yeah, it was all like alien related type of stuff, but also like kind of like vaguely. So you could probably get away with it not being considered alien related, but I choose to think of it as alien related. Also, all this stuff is super weird and I like thinking it's alien related. This is a storage thing. It's just an empty can, smaller cans, but these are Brooklyn Superhero Supply Co. Cold pressed inspiration may also contain perspiration and inevitability, easy cleanup. Banana Confidential banana flask. It's a banana flask, which I already told you. It's a banana. I am a toddler, truly. I really am. I had a couple different seasoning mixes, but I saw this and I was like, I need it. So as some of you know, I do a series on this channel called What's Not a Cult But Feels Like a Cult, basically, or I sort of have. And starting with the nugget, I learned about Facebook groups that are after dark groups. And they're usually like sex related, or it's just like, we've all had a glass of wine and we're ready to fuck around. That type of thing. So this is Salt After Dark. Salt After Dark has been initiating salacious encounters since 1974. Collected from the bedrock of the most sensual prehistoric oceans, Salt After Dark promises alkalacious temptations, mind-melting pleasure, and discretion. We'll never salt in town. I'm just gonna have Salt After Dark in my background. So I got an Omega Mart mug. This is giant. And it came wrapped up, which is nice, so you have no idea what's in store for you. And then also, because some of you, when I had back pain and stuff, a bunch of you, and I told you guys I was going to my chiropractor, a bunch of people started a joke about how we should just remove my bones and that would solve the problem. So naturally boneless is this patch that I got. So that's everything that I got from Omega Mart itself. And then I went back into Meow Wolf. They have a shop inside the Meow Wolf section, and I almost bought more than what I actually got. I was gonna spend probably more money, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna not do that. Because they had all these like little booklet things of like journal style things that weren't journals that you could write in. They were like kind of like field note collections, which was cool in theory. And it was just like, I don't need it. So I chose not to get it. But like, I wanted them. They were cool, but I didn't get them. Anyway, one of the things I got from there was this mug, wormhole actualization machine. And it's got like things, but look, it's a hole. It's a hole. So I got this sweatshirt and I'm in love with it. It's like the perfect size. Okay, it's a medium because they didn't have any smalls, but I'm so glad I got a medium. It fits perfectly. So it says the Forked Earth Diner, and it's like open late. Okay, so it's like a roadside diner, but like cool. So I like that. I also got these two pins. Society of Peripheral Studies, established 1972. And this one, which is the Interdimensional Workers of the Multiverse. It's a pin where they're like holding hands. I like multiverse theory. That's fun. I also got some bumper stickers. Honk if you don't exist. And I'd rather be tracking anomalies. I did get a shirt as well from the shop that was about, I think, the issues with portal sickness. 1 second. Yes, it was in my closet because I had to wash it because I wore it home from Vegas on my drive home and my tire blew out and then disintegrated. And so there was tire crap all over it. So yeah, so it's this shirt. It says symptoms of portal sickness, 360 historical insight, quantum collapsation, irritability around plants, chronic dimensional detachment. And I just thought it was fun. I'm a very serious shopper. Overall, like I said, do I think Omega Mart is worth it? I think so. I think if you have the ability to like go in, if you're in Nevada, I would go check it out 100%. Or if you're in New Mexico and you haven't been to the House of Eternal Return, go check that one out. I'm probably gonna go check that one out at some point the next time I'm able to actually travel. I have no idea when that's going to be. Overall, I think it was worth it. I think that going early, maybe going with friends, that might be fun. It depends how you are as a traveler. I like being able to do whatever the hell I want, so it's better for me to travel alone sometimes. Your call, really. But overall, I think I had a very good time. But that's gonna be it. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you. Wait, I didn't do questions. Do you live in Las Vegas? Have you been been to Area 15? Have you previously heard of Meow Wolf? Have you been to any of the other Meow Wolf locations, as if there's not only 2 currently? Do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in Tramcorp? Are you ready to sell your soul for capitalism? Let me know. Comment down below. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd also like to support me on Patreon, they'll be listed down below. If you'd like to follow me on my social media, that'll be up here. And that's going to be it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. I would like to say that I am always good with my money, but truly I am just a child who was not allowed to have a giant monsters party when she was young and now has adult money, so she can do whatever the hell she wants with it. Thank you, Allie, Alan, Alex, Brendan, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Cody, Colton, Crash PC, Destiny, Devin, Dirty One, Don, Elliot, Evan, Feckless, Hopeless, Hollow, Jacker, Ray, Joe, John, M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kevin, Kim, Kristen, Lex, Lisa, Luis, Manga, Matt O, Matthew S, Meme Lord the Red, Michael, Jane, Nathaniel, Pat, Tyler, Rob, Robert Ross, Sam, Skylar, Simon, Tasha, Timothy, Tom, Wendy, Williams, Zendry.